Okay, so just to mention, we spoke about wraps, and in Eretz I asked about it. We had wraps along with us.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, we brought it to the Gedalim, and we came out pretty stark. We had the videos of David Feinstein and all that, and we came out that it's Hamaitzi. And we went to HBrachos and others, and they all said Hamaitzi also. Till we came, the last one was Moshe Steinbach, and we brought it to him with the bag and all that, and he said it's Mezainis. So we asked him why. He picks it up, Mezainis. So we asked him what's the pshat. So he said because a new svara. And if David Feinstein did not like the svara, but this is his svara, he said that you'll never eat this plain. You'll never eat a wrap plain. No one ever ate a wrap plain. It doesn't taste good. So it can't be lechem is be'etzem dir l'soiva. It can't be that this is hamaitzi, something that you'll never eat plain. I don't know what type of svara that is, but he was very stark with it, like it was klar by him. It was Mezainis, and that was it. I'm not telling you that's what you should do. I'm just telling you that there is, if you see someone making Mezainis, look at Chila, we said, Pashas Samaitzi, it's Bli La'ava. I don't know if you remember the whole share, but it's not the whole Teriyukin and Teresa was Bli Raka. So that's why you make a Mezainis if you're not Kaveh Suda. But this is Bli La'ava, there's no reason to make a Mezainis B'Magadim. But Akapanim, he felt very strongly that Hamaitzi is only not something that you would eat on its own. If you wouldn't eat this on its own, can't be such a thing. That was one shah that we were busy with. The other shah that we were very busy with, we were asking the Paiskim was this Magen Avraham. The problem that you go to a Kiddush, and the Magen Avraham says you eat Mezainis, even if it's a little bit of Mezainis, and Moshe said even if you eat the Mezainis at the end of the Suda. And then you go ahead and you have Chalent and Kishka and Kugel, whatever it is. You have that all included in the share, and you'll be mechuyev in hamaitzi, b'chsamazim. That's the Magen Avraham. Mishnah quotes this. So that was a big problem for us. We didn't have any really bad pluktas on this. So I asked this in Eretz Yisrael, and a few chashav yidden, and HaRav we asked this to right away, and also others. Abish Tzemvet. I don't know if you ever heard of him. Abish Tzemvet. He's from the Anshe Yerushalayim today. A big address. He davens, actually, I'll tell you, he davened the Sikh by the Kaisel 55 years. Doesn't miss a day. So I saw him there every day. With him. What? So it's really Rabbanish. I don't know if you remember Rabbanish Finkel used to daven the Kaisel every day for Sikhin. You remember? No, I'm saying, yeah. See, he davens in that minyan. He was very close to Rabbanish. Tell me some stories of Rabbanish. Rabbanish was close to Chazanish, if you know. Rabbanish was Mishpach with Chazanish. Right, you're the Meir family, so you know what?
Inside, right?
No, it's outside. Now in the winter it's inside. But it's really outside. It's outside minute. Bekitza, so he's a big, all the Americans started going to this yid. Very, very varmi yid. Mishum the varmi yid. Already they're building him a shul already. He's not even sure how he's going to daven there because he davens and things. But the guys, Bekitza, but Shabbos, I was walking him back, and I had that slot that I could speak to him, walk him home, which was a good 45 minutes to an hour walk. And then you stay for his Kiddush, which I didn't stay. But like upon him, he starts walking Shah Shem. I say, Rabbi, same word. I don't know if you know, there's some stories in Shah Shem. I would not be happy to tell my wife or my mother or my grandmother that I'm on the Shah. Right. So he says, to get Mishdon, get Shah Shem. So, with him, I was going to go. I don't know how, I felt the Shemir with him. I felt it was okay. I'm here today to say the story. So I told him, what's the pshat? You're going through Shah Shem. So he says there was a young man many years ago that he was screaming at him. It was much worse. He was in Tefana than whatever it is. I go Shah Shem. He said, you're not allowed to do this. Sakana. Also to do. So he said, okay. You tell me, I'm going to go to B'tzanka Fisher. Went to HaRav. And he went to B'tzanka Fisher. And B'tzanka Fisher.
You need a psak with shar to go to the person with? You need a bracha. You need a psak.
The guy said, you're not allowed to. It's sakana.
Either it's a sakana or it's not a sakana.
Right, so the guy's telling him it's sakana.
Why is he asking for
He didn't want to ask anyone. This guy was screaming at him, "You're doing shaloika halacha. You're going to Shai Shechem, you're not put yourself in a matzah sakana." So he said, "You know what? Let me ask your Rav." And Yaakov Fisher said, "Are you afraid? Husband Bunim, you have betachin?" So Yaakov Fisher said, "There's no problem. It's not called shchichi azeka, and there's no problem." And so Yaakov Fisher said more than that. Very interesting thing. He said from Yosef Chaim Sonnenfeld that Yosef Chaim Sonnenfeld would walk the dafka to Shai Shechem, and those days it was danger. He said, "Surviving as it's about to the Arabs." I don't know. Very interesting. I don't know exactly, but this is what he told me that Yaakov Fisher told him, and therefore Akapanim. For me, I was scared, but no, going with him I wasn't scared. Maybe it's a falcha amuna because I was a maimin and him, but with him
You walked through Shai Shechem?
I walked to Shai Shechem with him and I spoke to him and learning for 45 minutes straight, and we had mashun the Gemara. What?
That's what did it.
I wouldn't go myself with you talking there. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, together we won't go. Okay, Bekitza. Anyways, yeah, he's the mamash malach. Bekitza, and Mekubal also. So anyways, we spoke about the Magen Avraham. So he also said, we went through many ma'asim over there with the Stipler and a bunch of things. He was close to many Gedalim also. So we spoke about the Magen Avraham. That was one of the shilas. A lot of Bayer shilas and these things. And the shilah with the Magen Avraham, he said that. Okay, I didn't mean here to say story. Okay, he said that he said the Chazanish Beinish once caught the Chazanish learning Kabbalah. He's a big Mekubal also. He would learn. I don't know if you know the Kosovo Rebbe from Borough Park. Not well known. He's a big fool. So he comes to the summer 2 months every summer. He comes to Eretz Yisrael, and he learns with him from 11 o'clock till Vasikin every night. They learn by the Kaisel. Sure, the massive disease. So he tells me that the Benish, the Court of Chazanish learning Kabbalah. So he tells him what's going on. The Nish Bazati, we said that the only reason why he's learning is because people come into him and talk to him about these things. He doesn't want to look like a fremda. People start talking about this. He learns a little, he dabbles a little bit, but okay. Anyways, so we spoke about the Magen Avraham. So he said that the Magen Avraham, the pshat of the Magen Avraham is only if you're eating it mamish together. If you're not eating it together, if you're eating a piece of cake, and then you're eating the cholent and the kishka and the kugel, over there's no problem, and that's what I got from all the poskim. I spoke to Yisrael Zilberstein, I also went to him now, and all the
crackers and other stuff.
So if you're eating crackers and tuna fish, a daily lunch, that could be a problem. So, but if you, but you're not eating enough with that. How much herring is it? You're saying a person's eating a lot, they won't have a problem. And eating with the herring, and the herring's been served to the shear, that you have a problem. But normally,
what's the shear? What's the shear?
Dal bain, they have big problems.
So what dal bain is?
The cracker and herring, not too much of it, is you're going to get stuck with dal bain. In cake, marble cake, over there it's around 9 pieces. It's very, yeah, there's a lot of air to it. But over here, okay. So we're not going to go through the whole trip of Eretz Yisrael. I'm sure Shlomo has also a lot to say. But let's try to, I think today is going to be, maybe it'll be the last share of Bekisnin. So let's try to wrap up very important Nakudas, which I also spoke about. Right, yes. Yes. Well, we have to discuss like this.
Do we need another share about Bekisnin after this? What is left? I mean, Nimlach,
no, it's not good to spend time on it. I think we have to start moving on. I'm not sure what the other shirim that's still also talking about because everyone's still going the same things. Okay, so now let me discuss a very important akuda. We discussed the Mechaber brings down the 3 Gedam and Pasabah Bekisnin, which the 3 Gedam and Pasabah Bekisnin is 3 different shitas, pashas different shitas, and that's really what has to be discussed because it's very important to know. We went through each gather, but we have to come out Lamaisa to all three, which means like this. We have the first shita in the Mechaber is that it's memula with other ingredients. No, sorry, not with other ingredients. It has memula l'mashal, chocolate cake. Chocolate cake is memula. It's a regular dough, but it's also memula with it. Therefore, that's a case of pasav bekisnin. It has in it chocolate or cinnamon, right? Cinnamon cake. So it has in it cinnamon buns, or you have rogalach, cinnamon rogalach. So therefore, that's a pasav bekisnin. That's the first one. That's the first pasav bekisnin.
So chocolate cake is the first category?
Chocolate cake, depends what you call chocolate cake. I mean babka. Chocolate cake, kakish cake. Kakish cake. Kakish cake.
Why should the chocolate's embedded
Is
in
it-
the dough?
No, not embedded in the dough. No. Kakish cake it's a regular dough. It's just chocolate filling, mamula. It's in it. It's around. Right, but not that it's in it. Not Neelish. Yeah. Rolled in. That is the first case. On that we had big problems with Sif Yud Zayin. Sif Yud Zayin says that if you have dough with cheese or with basa, then we said kla, or with fish, then it's kla hamaitzi. So what's going on? And this is the Velt Shaila. We saw the Taz, the Magen Avram, and that's where we got into pizza. And that's what we said, if so, this is regular pizza, that Mechaber tells you make a regular hamaitzi. If you go with the Magen Avram, Mishavu goes to the Magen Avram, then you make a hamaitzi. The Taz is a chiddush. And therefore we came out that on pizza, even one slice, even one bite, you make hamaitzi. Right? That was Sif Yud Zayin. Amol, they didn't do it because it was lahaj made for a snack. Today we checked out, it's not made for a snack, therefore you make a hamaitzi. That was the psak that we came out. I spoke to Pesach in Eretz Yisrael also, they all agree with that. They just wanted to have that maybe in Eretz Yisrael it's eaten a little bit different. You have in Eretz Yisrael, there's no plates for pizza. There's these cardboards. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Right? They don't. It's meant, they want to have, maybe it's meant more for a snack. Because they don't eat it on a plate. They eat it they give you like a little piece of cardboard to eat it on. The bottom, tissue box, yeah. Okay, but I'll upon them. No, so that even the Magen Avram, it's made for a snack. But if it's made for a snack, maybe you'll make him a zaynis. Fine, but the Maisa, that's probably the reason. And yeah, they're cheap on the paper plates. And really, for a Suda, you go to the pizza stores, it's busy like in America. And therefore, I'll be this. The first gather of pasav bekisnin does not apply for pizza, like we see Sif Yud Zayin, and therefore you should make hamaitzi on pizza. But on kakish cake and cinnamon rogalach, anything like that, you'll make a mezainis. Fine.
Pizza is a silent comedian, but you don't have a coffee cake, right? That's the difference. People eat the roast that clearly people eat pizza for lunch.
Right. So since it's eaten, so we don't have any more gedarim. It's lahedyamet for one piece of slice. We came out over here. I hope the other person came out like that also. That I can put him the Tuesday share. I don't know the Thursday. Now we're coming Thursday also. So now this year we came out that it's klamite. Fine. The next gather pasav bekisnin was a gather of that it's nilush and may Paris. The Mechaber wasn't as stark, but the Ramo was very sharp that it has to be that the only way to make a mezainis is only if it's lekech mamish. You bench on one slice, yeah, it's enough of a shir, you bench on one slice also. Yeah. The Mechaber was discussing, the Mechaber wasn't as much, but the Ramo, we came out that there's no such thing as mezainis bread anymore. I don't know if there ever was. And because Anshe Ramo, we do the Ramo, and the Ramo says the only time you're making it is only lekech, which is cake. The Ramo said such a mashal, and we said even more than that, that the Gayan tells to Rashi. What does Rashi say? Rashi over there on the Malach on the base says it's sweetness. It's like they make little trees, sweetness that you can't eat too much of it. Our mezainis bread that you see in the store, you can eat just as much as challah, you can eat mezainis bread. Therefore, we said there's no such thing as mezainis bread. I was happy to hear someone called me last night that he wants my notes on a very chashuv Rabbi Hafanas from Williamsburg. There's a lot of svarim. Rabbi Hafanas is a sachtas rabbanim. No, not Nitei Gavil. Nitei Gavil has many svarim as Nitei Gavil. He has also like 30, 40 svarim. Mekadesh v'azmanim, Mekadesh v'vach David, he has chuvas. Very chashuv. And he writes over. He's putting out a whole sefer now of writing that there's no such thing as mezainis bread. So he wants my notes to see Yehuda Lekra, why there's no such thing as mezainis bread. But upon him, that's what we came out, that there has to be, that get is very sweet, cake, marble cake, and all that, that's very sweet, so that's why you'll make a mezainis, but something else, you would not make a mezainis. Fine, that was the second opinion in the Mechaber. Yeah, so we said, we didn't ask him because they were not letting really ask too many halacha shalos. They said that.
I don't want to go over the.
Yeah, I asked him actually. Yeah.
The Rav is of course aware that that's gives this extra.
Right, so we explained that, but that's only gives the hechsher, as far as I know. That's what I want to know. That it's only on the airplane. Airplane. No. The airplane breads are made very small. It's very sweet. It's come out like cake.
We were both in airplanes in the last.
Yeah, but I was on different.
That's not cake. I know you didn't need it, but it's not cake.
Yeah, but I didn't need it, and they said it's. Oh, please repeat question. You don't have the mic. They're asking, please. You don't have the mic on you. Okay. What? I spoke to people that ate it. We're Klang over here.
No, we want to know what that is.
Oh, this has both milas. Okay, we'll speak about this. Okay, one second.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So we discussed. We were just discussing. Shlomo is asking that on the plane, the bedatsk is a hechsher of mezainis bread. So how am I so sharp to say that there's no such thing as mezainis bread? So I'm trying to tell him. I don't know if it's going over well. I'm trying to tell him that the mezainis bread on the plane is completely different. It's mamash cake. First of all, it's made in small sizes, and that we know, and there's debate about it. But let's say you make lahedya, small pieces of bread, this size. Yeah, small pieces of bread. Is that a maitzi or
Garlic rolls. You told me it's not 100% maitzi.
Right. That's made bigger. That's not, and that is made for kviya suda. But let's say they come out with a new echetimtza.
The pretzel bits.
So it's pretzel bites, exactly.
Tiny
You
ones.
had that here yesterday?
The tiny ones, right?
Yeah. So
It's
that's
smaller than the garlic rolls.
yeah, even smaller than that. Well, what about croutons? Very good. Croutons, right? Croutons that are lahedya made, not the yellow croutons, the salad croutons. The lahedya made for kinuach. They're not. No one eats puts peanut butter on them and has it in a sandwich. You make amazainis. No problem with that. The problem is that if your wife makes it and she had challah and then she cuts it into small pieces, sure.
But the commercial squares.
The commercial squares, no one's making amaitzi. Why? Why did you make amaitzi on that?
No kvis.
No, it's not lahedya that made for kinuach. These mezainis are bread, are lahedya made for on the plane. They're lahedya made for kinuach. They're very small. They're yellow. They taste like a piece of cake. Therefore,
I want to make clear the Rav's explained that, but that's position doesn't hold that way. Because if I was in a plane next to me, he would not be eating those rolls.
right? True, true. I'm just trying to for the bedats.
They're not small. They're
not
regular size rolls of shuldik. By
Yeah?
saying they're not small. Tiny bit smaller. Tiny bit smaller. Okay, we'll talk about this next
I'll be honest. I slept the way back. I wasn't. I didn't.
You
Wasn't
slept through an
excited.
halal meal? I can't believe it. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you a funny story that happened. There was Bashet. Do you ever open your hat box and see which hat it is? No, you don't. But ich bin für Amalagi Yidden. And when you go in business, you take what's maget, right? And you bring it to your kids, no?
What?
You take what they give you.
Oh, the little presents, yeah.
The little presents, right? So I had no more room already. I took already the slippers and all that. I put already in my handbag. So they gave a box of Pringles and I was all excited because I try not to eat Pringles because maybe Bishul Akum. So over there, Bishul Yisrael, what the thing? Where do I put it? In a hat box. Right? This room, there's a small box, you put in a hat box. I open up the hat box. I'm wondering, where did my pinchers go? There was a lot of room for a box of Pringles. I don't see my pinchers in my hat, you know. Oh, I open it up and I see it. What's going on over here?
Okay.
Lachamazel. I by mistake switched with the driver that drove me to the airport, and I'm in America. He has my
Oh no.
So today I know, imagine if I would have not looked, I wouldn't know to go buy today. Imagine Shabbos, I come with my shul with a bibit, the Bunim rule. So like this, I know today to buy, so look how it saved me by holding on to those Pringles.
What's that?
Now today I have to go buy a regular hat.
No, we got
I
to
never
get your hat
Shabbos
back. You have to get your hat back, no?
That's another shoe, but for this Shabbos, I need a hat, right? I'm not going to shul with the bibit. So, what? The poor driver, whatever he made, my hat is cheaper than a bibit.
That's what we have Chavri Knesset for, to get
But
find
this
the
is
rub.
today's project, when it's done, I have to run by a bibit because, I mean, a regular hat, because if not, it's all Shabbos and what? Yeah. You hear the story?
Hashem Yimalach Yisraelcha.
Yeah, amen. The kitzah, that's today's story. Yeah. Anyways, getting back to, so that's what I did on the plane. Story. But I didn't get to see the Badat's
Rolls.
yeah. So come on, I'm getting back to here. Yeah. So now, let's get back to this. So that was the second gather. Yeah, at least yeah. The shot is if I could just go ahead and pull it down and put pinches on it and come with a little fun in the job. Yeah. So now we have getting. So that was the second gather possible בכיסנין. Rabbi Gaddisman is right. Rabbi Shlomo is right that Moshe Steinbach is. You see through the Chuvas sometimes the Ketchili was fire against Mezainis, and then later on,
But he writes it the Lomdus, not Lalach Lamas.
right? Okay. Now the third gather possible בכיסנין was Ka'av innovation. What's Ka'av innovation? Ka'av innovation is cracks. It cracks. It's past that cracks. What's our best dimin? Matzah. Matzah is possible בכיסנין.
Or toast.
So we're a little bit stuck with that. We're going ahead and making hamaitzi on matzah. Really, we should not be making hamaitzi on matzah. Now, toast is not Ka'av innovation. Why? Because toast, like a was made as bread, and then you went and
I don't mean toast. I mean the melba toast.
Oh, melba toast. The melba toast we didn't discuss, but melba toast l'chayra, we have to say that the island's making mezainis. Why is the island making mezainis? Because the ketchila was made to make it as toast. So if the ketchila was made to make it as toast, and many times it's not even royal lechol.
You mean toast and not bread? That's
not bread. It's not royal lechol as is. So therefore, you make him a Zionist. That's like a tchila. Possible בכיסנין. The third gather possible בכיסנין.
Why is that royal lechol?
Problems.
Everybody here is eating melba toast,
and they make Zionist. No problem, because it was lahedjim made for kinuach, not for kviyas suda, and therefore that's the third gather possible בכיסנין. Even though it's regular dough. That's the third gather possible בכיסנין. Where was there
and if you sit down to eat it for lunch with tuna fish, what's the halacha then?
Then if you
six melba toast, a package of melba toast, how many? Four melba toast and tuna fish.
That's not a share. That's not a share. And you're going to go ahead and it's lahadi made for kinuach. It's the third gather possible בכיסנין. Third gather possible בכיסנין, no problem. The problem is the bagel chips. So if you buy it in the store, they had to make the bagels for bagel chips. But when the Four Corners was selling it, that was big problems. Because Four Corners, they sell bagels. The leftover bagels, they don't know what to do with it. So they go ahead and cut it in small pieces and make bagel chips. Over there, that's why the Paiskim, and they don't sell it anymore because of this reason. Because you have to make a mitzvah even on a small bite. That's where I think they stopped selling it. I haven't seen it for a while because of this problem. So we explained very much this gather possible בכיסנין, and now what we have to understand is getting to the ikki gather of possible בכיסנין, because we have these three things. So now, when I go ahead and eat a possible בכיסנין by the end of a suda, do I make a bracha or don't I make a bracha?
And dessert?
Dessert. Do I make a bracha or don't I make a bracha? You do?
Have you? Was it you washed? You washed.
I washed. Yeah, I have a regular suda. My wife gives me by the dessert for Shabbos.
Brownies.
A cake. A very healthy marble cake. A birthday cake. Yeah. Now, do I make a mezainis on that or not?
Healthy.
This is if you don't make you do make a bracha on fruit at the end.
Yeah, fruit you make a bracha, right? Now we know fruit you make a bracha. Oh. So, pashtus, you don't. Why not? Why wouldn't you make a bracha? Because again, what's it called? Pasaba bekisnin. What does that mean? That it doesn't, we have three different shittas. Three shittas means machlokes rishonim in all of them, right? So there's machlokes rishonim in all of them. So so you're going to be makbid on pasaba bekisnin, which means you're going to tell me that this is together pasaba bekisnin, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's real pas. You don't know. You're telling me, let's say it's number 2. Pasaba bekisnin, it's sponge cake, right? So it's mamula it's nilush with roiv mei bein. Very sweet, no problem. Okay, but it's not carbonivation. So the mandama that says that pasaba bekisnin is only carbonivation, it's not included in that. Like the mandama that says that it has to be mamula with sweeteners, it's not mamula, it's nilush, but it's not mamula. It's not kokosh cake. So it might be pas. So since it might be pas, you're making mezainis, you might have to make hamaitzi. Unlike the other shittas. So since there's a day that holds that this is hamaitzi, so melavadi, you don't make a bracha, so fasud.
Because you made one.
Because I made hamaitzi. It's a suffix hamaitzi. Every geder pasaba bekisnin.
The suffix
that's
hamaitzi, which you
what
already made hamaitzi.
I already made hamaitzi. I'm in the middle of a suda. Now you're eating cake in the middle of a suda.
End of the suda.
Okay, whatever, middle end, whatever it is, right? So it's a suffix hamaitzi. If you eat it by itself, you're allowed to say that maybe it's that day of pasaba bekisnin. You make a mezainis, it's fine. But if you're eating it in the middle of a suda, you made already hamaitzi.
Should make it nothing.
So you don't make anything, right? Very clear. But if you're eating a pasaba bekisnin, which has all 3 gedarm of pasaba bekisnin, which means you eat an apple pie, or maybe this hamantash. Hamantash is the dough is sweet, it's mamula with jam, and it might be carbonivation. I don't know, maybe.
Whatever. We had a problem with that. Who says that it's the Ramah? The proportion of the flour to the thing is very high flour. The milui is not clearly roiv of dvash, etc.
It's not?
Look at it.
No, I know that.
Look at it.
No, what's it? The first gather pasaba bekisnin, that's mamula, it's mamula.
Yeah.
Like from kokosh cake,
Yeah.
right? From babka. The second gather, the dough. The dough is no water, probably. It's probably, I would guess it's flour, eggs, and oil.
So it's not even water dough b'chlal. It's yellow dough.
The only thing they write is that it's sifted flour, but they don't write anything what's in the flour. I don't know how they get away with it. Probably on the backs.
Looks like a cookie.
Huh?
Looks like a cookie.
So I would guess it's sweet dough. It's not the challah dough.
Anybody want to volunteer to
What does the back say?
bring the Rav the box of Rav Yitzchak? It's unbelievable. You see,
Legally, don't you have to write what it's? Oh, the back says. Oh. Flour, okay, that's basement. The rest, sugar, eggs, vegetable oil, baking powder, apricot, raspberry jam, article flavor. It doesn't say anything about
but
water.
according to Ramad, has to be riboy. According to everybody, has to be very.
Riba means in the ingredients. In what it's made of. There's no water here.
No water b'chlal in it?
No. I read you sugar, egg, vegetable oils,
You can make something that thick consistency without any water whatsoever.
eggs and vegetable oils. Sure.
Maybe it's not, so there's no water ingredients. Maybe there's such a rule. You ever see water, a list of ingredients on a package?
Sure.
Yeah, you do.
Sure. Look at bread. You think it doesn't say water? Sure. Yeah. So if so it has definitely the first 2 gedarim. Ka'avinivation is debatable. Okay. So now, do you have to make, if you're eating a hamantash teichat suda, is there any tzara maitzi? There's no tzad hamaitzi. All three gedarim hold this is mezainis. It has all three gedarim mezainis. If you eat a stupid snack, you have to make a mezainis? 100%. The mezainis, it doesn't just, you think like you don't make mezainis. There's no such thing, no such rule you don't make mezainis. The reason why you don't make mezainis, as far as you know, is because it's a passive abakistan. It's always a safek hamaitzi. But when I know for sure this is a vaday mezainis because every shita in the Rishonim hold that this has it, so therefore you do not make, you make a mezainis, saifa sudu. L'mashal. If you eat, I don't know about this comment. Let's say you eat apple pie. I don't know how your wife made apple crunch. I don't know what you call it.
How thick is it? What's
It has a lot of apples, but it has a crunch on top. It has flour with you're saying graham crackers. I don't know, my wife makes it every week a month. It's like a sugar crust. Okay, that's a mezainis. If you eat it, it's damazin. If you eat it seifa suda, you have to make a mezainis in it. There's no ptur mezainis not making a bracha. We know peiris you make a bracha seifa suda. We know shahakal you make a bracha. You make a bracha on ice cream seifa suda. Yeah, most people make. Moshe chiddush, but most people make, right? That means there's no ptur not to make. It's not part of the suda. You make a bracha. So apple crust, you have to make a bracha seifa suda because it has all three gedarim passive abakistan. No one argues on that. So now you eat this hamantash. I am very stark chayshish. You mechuyev to make a bracha seifa suda. The zicha has the first two, and the first two are the ikka. I'm not sure carbonization. I would think that I would gesture that this could be carbonization. Also, you're not masking?
Cookie dough.
Cookie dough. Not? Okay, those are. But zicha has the first two. You're eating it for kinuach. I would tell you very stark it's out to make a mezainis seifa suda. I would be very scared not to make a mezainis seifa suda on this. Okay, so now that means let's just be clear. That means that there's a machlekes in all the Rishonim, and the ma'aseh this has all the gedarim of pasav bekisnin, which means everyone agrees to this that this is a pasav bekisnin. Therefore, mezainis has to be made. Okay, now what's the makom to argue on what I'm saying? The makom to argue what I'm saying is that no one really disagrees on the pasav bekisnin, which means let's start like this. Let's take the question in a different way. If to keep cheshbon. Let's say you eat a marble cake, right? You're having marble cake and you're having coffee. Or you're having a cup of water, a cup of milk with it. You eat a Danish for breakfast with a cup of milk. Do you make a bracha shakal on that cup of milk? On the coffee? Yeah, why? Maybe it's hamaiti. What patters you from not making a bracha on a cup of milk teich hasudim? It's the hamaiti or it's the bread? Let's say by mistake you made a mezainis instead of a hamaiti on bread. Do you have to make the other brachas teich hasudim? Avada not.
Rav means we did ikatafel. The shal is whether it's ikatafel.
No, because that's teich hasuda. The suda patters with one bracha. So God, you made a mezainis instead of a hamaiti, but the suda becomes pater. So now, why? When I go ahead and every time I have coffee and milk, coffee and Danish, why do I make a bracha shahakal on the coffee? I had a mezainis on that. Good question. What's the answer to the question? What do you mean consider suda? But this is really hamaitzi. I patted myself with a mezainis. But a lot of days hold the Danish is hamaitzi.
Maybe being tough is only when it's passed.
No. What should that be? This might be pass. Like the other Rishonim, this is pass.
Not for everybody.
So where am I? Yeah. Yeah. Teretz is because it's a suffix. So man, it's a suffix. I tell you, make a mezainis. Let me bring you the Mishabur.
No, Mishmur, I think they moved them till down there. No, they moved them. Okay, we'll bring in Mishmur. 1 second. Which? It's there. It's in the book. It's in this book. Which?
Oh, it's inside. It's inside the Biur Halacha. That's in the Biur Halacha. Yeah. We're gonna have a steer in a minute. One second. Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah. Okay. That's.
We're gonna have, we're gonna get to that.
So Rabbi Trapper knows this from Kivega, and the Kivega, this is the last Biur Halacha in Simon Kuf Samaches Sif Zion, the small Biur Halacha. When the Mechaber said V'Halacha Kedivei Kulam, Zok the Biur Halacha Ayim B'Chadusha Rabbi Kivega, Shehiksha Amayla Kotzav Mechaber Yeshamayim Yetzi Dei Kulam Kamesh Kotzav Sif Yud Gimel Ubemayim Martcha Miyashvei the Kivon Londinsky Behedia Shechol K'Mapoiskim Bezeh. The Efshe the Moedel Adadi. Okay, so my Motcha tells us, and the Biur Halacha is quoting this, that maybe they're all Moedel to each other. Which means, what does it mean they're all Moedel to each other? Which means that there's no argument. There's 3 days in the Mechaber, no one argues. Okay? So if no one argues, Zok the Biur Halacha, that everyone agrees that in every one is a real Passover Bekisnin. Question. So now, on cake, you should make a bracha, soifa suda, even if it doesn't have. We came up with a whole hamantash, a whole apple strudel, every piece of cake. Everyone agrees it's real Passover Bekisnin, it's real mezainis. Therefore, you should make a bracha mezainis when you eat cake, soifa suda. Remember, Erlanger, zecher tzadik v'kadosh bracha, the Baal Mechaber Sefer Bichas Avraham, he would go ahead and he would have cake soifa suda, and he would tell the bachrim that was sitting there, had friends that sat there with him. And he said, I am making a mezayin. If you like it or not, you could be yotzei, you don't have to. I know you were brought up in America, you don't make a mezainis. I'm making a mezainis. I have a Biur Halacha. Biur Halacha tells me that my Matcha says that everyone agrees to every gather Passover Bekisnin, which means if you're eating marble cake, there's no machlekes. There's 3 days in the Mechaber, everyone agrees to all of it. Therefore, he said, so you make a mezainis.
Is this separate from the machlekes about dessert?
Huh?
Is this separate from machlekes about a cake eaten for dessert? No, that's it. I know hach. So some people are like to make a bracha on cake.
But yeah,
Yes. Aren't there people who like to make a bracha on mezainis and cake at the end? If you eat it for dessert.
Mitzi.
Waitzi.
What's that mean?
Okay.
I'm saying, so Bekitza, so that's what Rav Erlanger said, that we're relying on this Maimon Matcha to tell you that which Kiveg is kasha. So therefore, yeah, it said very good V'Afsher. The Maimon Matcha doesn't say the Lashon V'Afsher. Yeah, so Akapanim. So therefore, he held that any cake that you have, you make a hamaitzi. Sorry, mezainis, and you'll make soifa suda mezainis. Okay, now. So now let's see how weit to take this.
The Biur Halacha is on page 181 on the bottom. Halacha Kedivei Kulam.
Now, so that means that the Biur Halacha is telling you that it's a valid Passover Bekisnin. So now in Eretz Yisrael, when I was speaking to this Yid, his name is Nachum Friedman. He learns in the Yanka Fisher's Kailul, and I sat with him for a long time, went through many shilas. Not the first time, he's mamish mas miratzim, and there's 18 hours a day. And he told me a story in the Biur Halacha. Tells me the Biur Halacha in Simon Kuf Ayin Vav, Sif Aleph, first Biur Halacha in Simon Kuf Ayin Vav, Biur Halacha says that
Kufayin Vav.
yes, Sif Aleph, the Divrei Maskil Bir Chal Papas. I'm not sure if you have it in the countries.
We do.
I don't know if you have Kuf Ayin Vav. I think it's
We have Kufayin Vav. Of course we do. Let's get it. The first Biur Halacha.
yeah.
Divrei Maskil Derech Berachal Parperes. Yeah, page 215. You can put up page 215. It'll come and take a second. 215 on the right side. Give us a second.
You have it?
It's coming.
Oh, very good. It's right here. Okay. So it says over there, the Mechaber writes, the birch al papas like poter sapas. I'm not going to go into the thing, but I'll show you a middle of the bir halacha. He says,
He says,
okay, by the dat, like mamash a middle. Le'inyan, the second word of the line. Le'inyan masha'anu noyegin lechel lekech v'kichlech. A little further down, 3 lines after where you are, right there. Yeah. Achein. Le'inyan masha'anu noyegin lechel lekech v'kichlech. U'kedayim b'shabes b'shachris acha kiddush. Tzarech iyan l'maisa ech linoig. Da'af de l'chayra kol zein pas bekisnin. Kimavu la'el b'sim kuf samachas. Av be'emes halayrak misafik noisna le'en din pas kisnin. Ikimavu b'loshen ha'mechaber sham siv zayin. V'hainu mishum de safik brachos lahaka. V'lechein ein mevachen aleim rak me'en shalish. Mesha ein kein le'in binyanein.
what's the shali? Whether you make a bracha achrayna? Shali's a bracha achrayna.
Yeah. The shali is like this. If you ate cake before the Suda, Zak to be halacha. It's a suffix. It might be passed. So therefore, Zak to be halacha, you should be samech on the Bechas Hamazon later on, what the halacha is discussing. What do you mean? The halacha said over here that legabe halacha lemaisa, everyone has a din of pasabah bekissin. He's telling you, no, it's a suffix. So where does it come together? So we have a steer in the halacha. The halacha over here is telling you that since it's a suffix, if you would go ahead, l'mashal, and this we spoke about once, if you would go to a kiddush and you would eat all 3 pasabah bekisnin, you eat a cracker, which is kavan yavation, and you eat marble cake, which is the second gather, and you eat a chocolate ragala, you should make hamaitzi without a doubt.
You covered all 3.
Manushach. If you go with the Be'alacha and Simon Kuf Ayin Samachas, then he tells you it's all, everyone agrees it's possible to kiss him. But if you go with this Be'alacha tells you that it's just a suffix. If you eat all 3, you're stuck and you have to wash and bench when you eat 3 pasabah bekisnins. This is a big problem for us because many times that is what people are eating when it comes to kiddush. They're eating on the platter that they give you. You have 2 right there. You have a ragala. That's the first gather pasabah bekisnin. You have marble cake. Who's not eating those 2? And then you're eating kicha with herring. So you have all 3 gedalim pasabah bekisnin. You zicha should wash and bench.
Because you covered every category.
You cover every category. See, if you tell me to be halacha before the Maimon Martcha, okay. But over here, you see, he's not going so stark with the Maimon Martcha. So you're all excited, and so you're trying to get Suda Sebchitka, Abagav. And when I was talking to Avabish saying about Suda Sebchitka, a whole different shaila, the Chasam Sofer says, he told me over the Chasam Sofer in Shuvas, that says you're not allowed to say that you're eating Suda Sebchitka. Because since no Rishon Pascha like Suda Sebchitka, you want to eat. But so it's like Beshamai and Besil, and if you do like Beshamai, it's a big problem. So if you want to do Suda Sebchitka, all of a sudden you decided to be Machman Suda Sebchitka, he says some Sefer says you're not allowed to say that's what you're doing it for.
Why?
Because the same way we don't if there's no Rishon that Pascha like it, it's like Beshamai Makam Besil, Eine Halacha,
Wow.
and Chayav Misim. Really? How do you know that? What? You heard this from him?
He said he was doing it for emphasis, not well. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Akapanim. So getting back to here. So when you're going to a kiddush, you're in real problems. Even though someone I see was Mario over here, you're not eating it together. It doesn't make a difference because if they're in this suda, you're eating something which is Vade Pas. Everyone agrees it's Vade Pas. If you tell me like the Be'alacha, in Simukuf Samaches, with the Maimon Martcha, so then, okay, so you're going with the Maimon Martcha. But over here, I'm telling you the Be'alacha is not going so much with the Maimon Martcha. He's telling you maybe you have to be Machma. So if you maybe have to be Machma, so come tell you that like that Be'alacha, you're stuck. And if you eat 3 gedalim of pasabah bekisnin, you have to wash. So I asked the Shaila Eretz Yisrael. because this bothered me for a long time. And I spoke to Nachum Friedman about this until we went through the whole Shakavataya to get to this. He knows Archaim Kla, he knows every Prima Gadim, it's unbelievable. And he told me that Muzayin, we use it Sa'ila Kula and Sa'ila Kula this way and Sa'ila Kula that way. We take all the Kulas. Okay, it's easy to say that, but Lamaisa,
How do you do that?
to get out of a Bichas HaMazon is not so posh. It's something that I say. Now, Pashtus, you're not even Yaitz, it's a big machlekes. If you Yaitz, by mistake you made Ala Micha. Instead of a Bichas HaMazon, if you Yaitz, it's not so posh. So you hear what's going on, Rabbi Black? You hear this whole shtickle that we're coming with? We're coming with big problems. If in the three Gedalim possible Bekissin, you want to go with the Ma'am Matcha, if you want to take it all the way. No, there's none of you together.
Yesterday's shir, the Rekala said,
Yeah,
the Son Zalman said, the Minute Oil is like the Bia Rafa and the Son Test.
yeah.
And if you look at the Deer Shul, the Brura, he said, Son Zalman and the Yashas, so he said.
It could be Minig Olam, but the shaila is then we have to go ahead and change and make by all cakes. So if that means we can't take. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the Minig Olam. Yeah, okay. Now what?
34.
Yeah.
Zalman, the Yashas, so he said,
No, I said I'm okay with that. Right? No, but then I need that Sefer Suda. Okay, so I agree with that. I'm saying you have to go one way. This year in Eretz Yisrael, Nachum Friedman wanted to tie it to me. We go all the kulas, and we don't make Sefer Suda, and we don't do that. To me, that's too much of a chiddush. If you want to take the Be'alacha in Simukuf Samaches, I'm okay with that. I know somebody asked me something, so I know about that. So then you have to make any cake you eat Sefer Suda, you have to make a regular mezainis. That's a new type of minig that we have to be mechat. So therefore, either don't eat cake Sefer Suda, or
he also said that Ram
yeah,
did not serve cake together.
right, because he was worried about this. Or I'll tell you a different answer. Take a super snack, by Sefer Suda, make a bracha on the super snack. There is zicher mezainis, no one holds that, and then you'll eat the cake or whatever. There's different echetimtis, or you'll eat the soup, or you'll eat a piece of cake before you start the Suda. There are other.
How come the
echetimtis.
Bir Halacha doesn't talk about it like it talks about Paris at the end of the Suda? Why not?
Yeah, it's a problem. Yeah. Okay, so Lamaisa, that is our maskana here, and you can't say mechanish tanzen of tvei chasim. I'm trying to say you can't take the man and matcha and then throw them out when you want, and use them when you want, and take them when you want. You have to either go that way or you have to go the other way. Okay, I just want to end off with one Nakuda on also in this area in Eretz Yisrael. It was much more in this area. We went to Eretz Yisrael. I think by you or Bashavais, I think someone told me, spoke about it. This Nakuda, that this tragedy that happened in Eretz Yisrael.
Yes,
with,
I
with
mentioned
one mishpacha with two kids. Was it a father also, or just two children?
father is critical in the hospital for the last 3 weeks
Wow.
since the
And
attack.
besides that, two children. Pele, yeah.
Pele.
And in Eretz Yisrael, you saw the signs. It was very nostalgic. In America, neither it doesn't hit home so much. But over there, it was much more nostalgic. I was thinking of an akuda, and someone sent me an email with that he went to Shiva and he wrote what they said over there. And there's, in this week's parasha, you see that Moshe was niskasha with the menorah. Now, what's so hard? The lechem upon him, the shulchan, also pretty difficult if you think. Okay, you understood it. Here it's so hard. We have machlekes, Rashi, Rambam. The Bunim told him exactly what needs to be done. Shishakanim. What's so hard that Moshe Rabbeinu was niskasha? Chavetz Chaim says a pshat that what Moshe was niskasha was that Klal Yisrael menorah is oil. Whatever is light, right? He says, Klal Yisrael and Golus, they suffer so much. How's it shaykh that there should be oil? How's it shaykh that there should be light? There's so many Golus, and someone was making me a cheshbon last night that Klal Yisrael left Mitzrayim with 3 million Yidden Mistamah, whatever it was, all the numbers, whatever, 2 maybe.
That's the Messiah's 3 million.
3 million, yeah. So you have
600,000 times 5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
Shpachah,
yeah,
5.
yeah.
Yeah.
So now, we say 3 million. How many Yidden are there today?
We have
14
B'Kaisel,
million.
we have 14, 15
40,
million.
50 million. You're talking about,
Should have
it should
been
have been
500
billions.
million.
Say at least billions, Mr. Ahmad.
Billion.
Right? So we lost so much. That means we Kamat didn't grow. What's that? You're talking about every generation today. After the Holocaust, we were down to minimal 2 million maybe, and now all the 40 million. So you're talking about in 80 years we got to that, right? So you're talking about from Yitzias Mitzrayim to now should be billions. You're talking about this is Atzlacha. This is the Klal Yisrael goes to Gullus after Gullus and killed out and weiter, right? So how do you see the Ur? The Teretz is so that's what Moshe Rabbeinu was Niskasha. The menorah represents Ur. I can't see it. I can't see such Ur. What did Baruch Hashem tell him? The Baruch Hashem showed him fire. Fire is destruction. Out of the fire came out this menorah. In every destruction is Gufa, there's Ur. Klal Yisrael sees Ur in every destruction. So I just want to read you this Avelis this Menachem went there. And he writes over there.
Who went to?
Someone, I don't know, some random
Someone
person went to the Menachem Avos, Shiva house. And he says they didn't say a word about the terrorists, about Arabs. Not one word. Why? He says, of course, they feel that we must do our utmost to try to prevent it. But the Arabs is not the focus. The focus is Hashem. How can I become a better person? That's all the focus was. How can I become closer to Hashem? If I better myself, Hashem will take care of things more the way we would like. The focus is completely on me and Hashem. You're talking about a mishpacha that lost 2 young children. No pshat, no garnish. And after the Shemaya punk, they were there and this and that. They never went to the bus stop and this. And they're going to HBrachos. And the father's chaylim mesukah. There's not a father over there to give them the chizuk. But the amunah is so strong in Klal Yisrael that the mishpacha is saying, what can we do to Hashem? What's our connection to Hashem? We have one little uptight moment with you and a person and his wife, or a person and a shuttif in business and this and that, and we go meshuga. Don't you realize it's all Hashem? Moshe Rabbeinu was also in this kash. There's Klal Yisrael. Look at the Pashat Yidden. Whoever heard of this mishpacha? Palei, nice mishpacha, very nice. Pashat Yidden, Pashat Bnei Yisrael. Look at the Amunah. The Baruch Hashem is telling you can't believe of a Pashat of Yid, the Kayach of Amunah. This is what's going to take us through Galus. This is the Kayach of a Pashat Yid. You see Yidden in Eretz Yisrael, the Mukshi, Pashat HaMoinam, Aniyim, sitting and harving and learning. That's the Oyer HaTorah. We should be Zeicha. That the light should come, the emissary, Oyer HaGanus, we should be Zeicha to have that already, B'Karav Mamish.